On December 11th, 2025, Bobby Gray's community call introduced the first Layer 2 project called Downtown Digital Dollars to be built on the Texitcoin blockchain. This video presents a few of the highlights from that call.
We know that the fair and festival industry is scheduled to exceed $3 trillion by 2032. Let's do the math real quick on Scarborough. 200,000 visitors times $100 revenue per person is $20 million. Imagine if $20 million of Scarborough token came into existence over the period of that event. What we do, because people need to have TXC to pay the tiny transaction fee. They need TXC to pay the incredibly ridiculous small transaction fee. And if we sell them $1 of TXC, so they've gotten more than enough to pay all the transaction fees for the whole event and maybe for the rest of their lives, we're talking about 1% of that 20 million going into purchasing Texitcoin on the open market, because that's the gas, that's the fuel, that's the coin that they need to acquire to accomplish the goal of trading this very low cost layer 2. During one event, it could bring in $200,000 of buying power into the Texitcoin marketplace, because these 200,000 people all pick up $1 worth of Texitcoin. But best of all, guys, I now have the money, the capital to get the job done, to implement the layer 2, to get the community currencies going. Capital that we've never had in the past. How much money do I have? I have enough to get the job done 100 times over. Whether that means in McKinney, Texas, or McKinney, Allen, Frisco, or it means McKinney and Gonzales and this town and that town and your town, we've got the resources to do it now. Later. But layer 2, the downtown digital dollars, I actually see as a stepping stone, as a user experience warm up to actually getting people to use Texitcoin as money. It's like, okay, well, if a person accepts the layer 2 McKinney downtown dollars and they also accept Texitcoin, which one's better? Well, that option is always out there for the consumer to decide. But what the biggest challenge is people have with adopting digital currency, cryptocurrency as money, is the volatility. And so the layer 2, the stable coin, the dollar-backed stable coin community currency, eliminates that risk for the merchant. So the dollars get stored somewhere at a local bank, and then the digital dollar, the digital downtown dollar, is able to circulate rapidly and at almost no cost throughout the downtown area. So what do? We sponsored the International Association of Fairs and Expos, which we found out wasn't even the big event for the industry. And we became one of their largest sponsors at their big event this year, which just happened last week and a half ago. And Stephanie and your sister, right, Amanda, were out there exhibiting, sharing our story. So I was hoping to grab you just for a couple minutes, if you've got time, to share a little bit of what we were able to kind of hear from the people that were visiting you at the booth, and then what the people were giving us as far as feedback at our presentation at the tail end of the event. What would you say was your key takeaway from that experience?
I think it was really exciting because all of these festivals are looking to go digital. And a big reason that they're looking to go digital is because the kiosks don't work. A lot of them are using paper tickets.
Isn't that mind-blowing?
They don't want to have the fraud.
14 years ago, they were using paper tickets. Fast forward 14 years, they're still using paper tickets.
And they're weighing them. They're like, wait a second, we need a better system. And so
it's wild. I'm like, what have you been doing the last 14 years? Paper tickets.
Yeah.
So they still need it. They still need digital systems. There are systems out there. And again, these are the guys that I was selling against back in 2010, 2011, 2012. I was trying to get people to go physical with physical copper tokens, minted copper tokens. And I was selling against the guys that were saying, go digital. But they were charging a fee. You have to pay for that. There's hardware, there's training, there's a transaction fee. So they're charging for that privilege.
Mm-hmm.
And
Your
so
talk was really good. It was very comprehensive. I actually recorded it. Maybe we should.
Did you really?
I did.
I was wondering if we were going to record it. And you did.
I did.
The talk ended up being more of like a fireside chat. It was a small group. We did it after the event was over, right? So I don't know how many people stuck around, but that's the spot we got. We were late to the party. And so it was after the event concluded. The main event went for like 4 days. And then a day later, that was us. So we had 16 people there, but it wasn't 16 nobodies.
They were very interested people. And that was the great thing of having them there.
Not just interested people, interested event organizers from state fairs, from
Very
rodeos.
Yes, yes.
Let's not name drop
No.
because we want to develop those relationships. But let's just say that people stuck around to hear what we had to say. And so the fireside chat ended up being about cryptocurrency. It's like, look, we're going to talk digital. Is everybody scared of Bitcoin? And I asked the community, I said, how many people here are investing in cryptocurrency? No hands. How many people here have a Coinbase account? No hands. Not one. Not 35% or 10%, but nobody in that room. Even to that day, I said, okay, well, let's start by trying to demystify crypto a little bit. We're talking about an accounting system. We're talking about everybody now in your pocket having the world's most honest and accountable monetary system that we can use for a countless number of things. So we started there and we spent a lot of time there. But then we got to like really the point that you told me you heard again and again and again from people that have these events that travel from area to area to area. Do you remember what that was?
A lot of it is making sure when they leave the communities, what kind of state are the communities left in? And that's really where we come in and we shine and we help them to be the heroes.
So I told a story a few minutes before you joined about my pitch to the Addison Oktoberfest event organizer and how it was such a flop because my math was wrong. And
Great
what the
story.
lady said
Great
to
story.
me when I closed my book and I apologized, and she said, you know, what I really want is something that can actually circulate in the community even after the event is concluded.
Mm-hmm.
My eyes went wide. I was like, well, that's what I wanted to really pitch you. But I figured an easy way for us to get started would be through like this festival. She's like, well, that's what we really want. And it was really a game changer. It almost caused me to open the notebook back up and say, okay, well, now if I don't have to worry about storing 4 million tokens all year, and these 4 million tokens have a opportunity to circulate year round in and around the community as a community currency, as a local economic promise. Well, now we've got something different. I'll get back to you. I didn't have the money. We were too small back then. You know, maybe that opportunity goes or is there still to explore today. But even setting that aside, we know that the fair and festival industry, how big is the fair and festival industry? We took a look at this the other night in the Q&A section of our call. But I disappeared my meeting controls. There it is. We know that the fair and festival industry is scheduled to exceed $3 trillion by 2032. And so $3 trillion is expected to go into the fair and festival industry over the next couple of years. What a huge amount of money that is. We're talking Oktoberfest. We're talking July 4th parties. We're talking about county fairs. We're talking about rodeos. We're talking about huge events that draw hundreds of thousands of people ever.
I'm getting excited. I'm feeling really excited right now.
300 million. If we pick up 1% with our no cost solution, everyone's paying for it now. I got something you can use for free. What's the catch? You got to use blockchain, bro. Got to use my network. I built this network. I need to find some utility. Oh, and by the way, the thing that you told me was so important, having a positive impact on the communities that service your event. Yeah, the community currency stays and circulates around town all year long. So take that $3 trillion of fair and festival money, add in another, I don't know how much money of community currency spending, maybe double that number. That's more economic impact that we have for the town. That's money that stays there. That's money that has a high likelihood of circulating 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 times downtown before it goes to Walmart and heads off to China. If we can capture 1% of that market, by 2030, it's a $300 million of annual demand for Texitcoin to go onto the app, into the phone, locked indefinitely.